And we begin by telling you that the federal government has declared Thursday, June 12th, 2025, a public holiday to mark this year's Democracy Day celebration. The announcement was made by Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, who congratulated Nigerians on 26 years of uninterrupted democratic rule. He described June 12 as a symbol of the nation's enduring commitment to truth, justice, and peace, reflecting the strength and resilience of the Nigerian people. The minister emphasized that democracy is a continuous journey open to improvement and growth. He also reaffirmed the commitment of the Bola Tinubu administration to democratic values rooted in the freely expressed will of the people across all sectors of national life. Away from that, the 2025 Ojude Oba Festival is underway in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State, kicking off one of Nigeria's most iconic cultural celebrations. Famed for its vibrant displays of tradition, regal attire, and daring horse ride pageantry, the festival draws thousands of visitors across Nigeria and the diaspora. Now, the town is buzzing with activity, welcoming dignitaries, tourists, and even returning indigents for a celebration that blends deep cultural pride with economic opportunity. The Ojude Oba continues to shine as both a cultural spectacle, I beg your pardon, and a key driver of local tourism and trade. Visuals they're seeing there is live visuals from the Ojude Oba 2025 as is commenced. Our correspondent Igbalani Omoni is live at the festival and will join us subsequently on the bulletin. More festivities here. As part of the Eid al-Kabir festivities, the ancient and colorful tradition of the Durbar returned to the streets of Kefi with all its pomp and pageantry. The event, which brings together royalty, horsemen, and spectators, is more than just a parade. It's a symbol of history, unity, and pride. News Central Sumaya Abubakar witnessed the spectacle and brings us this report. Take a look.
In a burst of color, rhythm, and royal heritage, the Durbar of Kefi stomps through the streets once again, a breathtaking celebration marking Eid al-Kabir and centuries of culture. From early afternoon, crowds lined the roads to catch a glimpse of the majestic horsemen adorned in traditional attire, flanked by palace guards and praise singers.
Our Durbar is all about culture, and I'm a man that has passion about my culture. And you know, culture is a way of life. So we need to cherish it. We need to support our culture.
At the heart of the Durbar is the Emir, symbolizing authority and unity, welcomed with chants and admiration by a sea of jubilant spectators.
What I love about it is because of the beautiful show of different outfits, and it's tradition and culture, so and it's very exciting to watch. All the chairs and then the atmosphere too. The fact that there are a lot of people, as you can see everywhere, so it makes it amazing to watch.
While the celebration has deep historical roots, for many, it's also a family tradition passed from one generation to the next.
I love horses and I rode one 2 years ago, but I would love to do that again.
The Durbar isn't just for entertainment. It reenacts old tales of bravery and honor, once used to prepare warriors and unite kingdoms.
The emir will get to meet his people because some of the places he follows the road is where he is not normally going that way, and the people do not have the opportunity to see him one-on-one. And going this way gives him the opportunity to go and meet with these people one-on-one. And in that light, they will also come to cheer and see him. And as he's going, normally he distributes kola nuts and other things to the citizenry of his emirate.
As the dust settles and the drums fade, the memory of this year's Durbar lives on, not just in photos and cheers, but in the pride of a people keeping tradition alive.
bringing riders to the spirited crowd, the Durbar remains a colorful reminder that tradition, when celebrated, binds the communities together. In Kefi, for News Central, Sumaya Abubakar.
To Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State, where News Central's Igbalani Omoni is on standby as he gives us a situational report on the ongoing festivities as the faithfuls or the indigents of Ijebu-Ode celebrates the Ojude Oba Festival. Ni, what's the atmosphere like at this point? I see you are swamped, or you're right smack in the middle of all the indigents celebrating.
It's a lot of feeling, but one is excitement. That is for standard, that is for sure. And just as you can see in front of me, we waited for hours for this to begin. I'm trying to move away from the banner. These groups that are heading to the Awujale. Now this is the Egbe Bopase Obirin Omoba Akile Ijebu, and I want to quickly speak with them and see how they are feeling. Hello, mommy. How are you feeling today, ma?
We are very fine.
This is another 2025. This is another Ojude Oba Festival. How do you feel being here to celebrate this year's Ojude Oba?
Well, we thank God for everything. Today is another day. We thank God for everything. You know.
What group? The name of the group. What group is this, and what does the name of the group signify?
We are Boba Gunte Obirin Akile Ijebu Omoba.
What does the name signify?
We are the children that were born when Kabiesi was, ascended on the throne. So, yeah.
Have fun, ma. You're looking beautiful, by the way. All right, this is one of the Regbe group, and many more we keep parading to pay homage to the Awujale, whose positioning is up there, but they will go around. They will start from my left-hand side, my right-hand side here, move this way, and of course, go around, pay homage to the VIP section you can see up there in the glass, which has not only the governor, but of course, the icon of the 2024 Ojude Oba Festival in the person of
We seem to be
I think I can speak with so many other people, but it's quite busy. You can easily get lost in the crowd. In fact, I and my team, we are using a walkie-talkie to communicate right now. That is how busy and huge the music and the dance and the loudness is here.
Well, that's definitely Ni. We will come back to you. We'll let you go to continue. Neo Igbalani Omoni, they are correspondent live at the Ojude Oba Festival 2025. Culture, color, heritage, and of course, splendor. Let's head now to Delta State. A bit of sadness here, where dozens of women from the Agbaro community in Ughelli North local government area reportedly took to the streets to protest the disappearance of at least 26 children in the area. The protesting women, dressed in black, marched through major streets in Agbaro, chanting and waving placards with inscriptions such as, quote, "Stop stealing our children," quote, "Where are our kids," end quote, and also, quote, "We want justice," end quote. Over the past 8 months, and 26 children, mostly between the ages of 3 and 10, have gone missing under mysterious circumstances. Now joining us live is our correspondent live in Agbaro, and that's Austin Azu. He is currently in Agbaro community, and he brings us up to speed. Austin, earlier whilst we were speaking, you were with the couples that are with you now. What's the latest?
Michael. All right. Of course, we are still at the family compound of Mr. Lucky Eriga. His son was among those 26 children that have been mixing in Agbaro community. It has been a pathetic situation. Of course, Lucky, bring us to speed. Since when you're picking, you say you miss?
Since on the 29th of this May 29, Friday, after I came from school, he shot finish, go Waka go play. Now from there, he lost for Apostolic Street.
When you're picking lost, so wait till you don't do. You don't go police. What did police tell you?
That day, now God never saved me. I don't even die to wake concerning this issue. I reached town hall, nobody care. I go station, they say I go see her. Now they call tell me. Now the station call tell me that day.
Okay. Madam, how old your pikin day?
6 years.
6 years. Okay. Since when the pikin miss, so how you dey cope? How you think they live?
I don't live fine. I don't live fine.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, we have another mother here whose son is equally missing. Okay, her name is Vero Lucky. Vero, please tell us, since when your pikin miss?
I don't reach 2 weeks plus now.
How old be your pikin?
4 years plus.
4 years. Okay, tell us, what you don't do since your pikin they miss you?
We go station, they know they answer person say, even Coco FM, they don't come. We just go anywhere. In fact, I don't even know what to do.
Now, your pikin went miss, so you suspect anybody or any group of person when they involved for this pikin, so?
No.
Not they suspect anybody?
No, because I don't know anybody.
Okay. Now, what's in your prayer now? What do they look up to now?
Now, God.
So
they pray to God. God will, wherever my pikin is, God will bring my pikin. He will put confusion. He will never give them peace until they return that son.
Who be then so when they call them?
Anyone will carry the child. Because now woman be, I carry the child for copad. Because the child would not raise fine that day. That is the reason why I don't allow her to go to school. That day is on Thursday.
So what's your pikin they do that particular time when they take carrier? And how you tell them to say they carrier?
We just sleep, wake up for us, me and her. We just come aside. We call they fight for our compound. One boy with one girl. They call they fight for our compound. The pikin even stand for me. When they fight. Well, after the fight, because they fight that fight inside my house, we call come aside. A moment that fight stop, at that moment I just start to fight that child.
So where you don't go since this incident happened, so apart from the police?
I never go anywhere. It's only church.
Where your husband there?
I don't know anywhere from him. My husband there, Edo. Yes, because so, I be Edo Awushi.
Your husband people, they don't know about what happened?
Yes.
So what did they talk? What did they do?
They still work out their home for that side to look for the pikin. They go and they work out, they go, they check, they say yes, the pikin still there alive.
Okay. So by the grace of God, you are hoping that you will see your pikin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's meet Papa Lucky Riga again. Papa, as this matter they grant so, you believe say government go fit help you look for your pikin?
Why not? Government help me look for my pikin now. They must do all possible best. Let the fit see my pikin. Government go help me. They can fit see my pikin.
We call.
I not get all that power. Only government I go fit help me. Locate everywhere.
We hear say more than 26 children and they miss for this Agbaro community, so and your own pikin they among inside. Una don't come together as people when we say they look for their children, una do one thing.
My own. The first time I call, I told you say that my own I no concern. Yesterday they call people, only 4 people now they see for palace where they go. This morning and I just suddenly I see now where come. Me and my wife call me to now. As I fit see my own idea after. Anyone want to say he won't go find Pikino, government don't say people call. Now they call no concern that one. Now my own I know.
Okay. All right, let's meet Vero again. Vero, now. Una don't gather together as parents when they look for their children, come together to speak in one voice?
No, sir.
Why?
Because I don't know many of them. It's only this mommy. Now I don't know any many of them. Even yesterday they tell us to call to palace. It's only few people that were there. So I don't know anybody.
Okay, now let me come back to Mama Eriga. Mama Eriga, as this thing they happen so, what do you think say they go fit do for this community now when they go fit to see on our children?
We government help us do what they want to do in the fit see the Eriga for me. They help me.
How much do they miss about your son, Eriga? How much do they miss him? Do they miss your pikin?
I miss him.
How many children you get?
7.
Which position Eriga there?
Maybe last one.
Maybe last one.
Maybe last one.
Okay, Madam Vero, how many children you get and the pikin when they miss, which position is there for your children?
Last one. 4.
Okay, talk again.
4 children and last one.
Okay. Well, it's very pathetic here in Agbaro as the parents of the missing, as the parents are still hoping and believing that they will see their children, but not stating the fact that they are believing that government will enable them to reunite with their children as soon as possible. But however, we gathered that the local government chairman was here yesterday to interface with them. However, a meeting has been slated on Tuesday to meet with the parents of the missing children and the leaders of the community. However, looking forward to see where they will be able to get a lasting solution to the insecurity challenges that has confronted Agbaro community in recent times.
To television, a bit of sad news there coming out of Delta State as women are reporting mysterious disappearance of 26 children from the Agbaro community. Let's go on a short break, shall we? When we return, we'll head to Kano State as the government pledges support for the traders affected by fire. After the break. And you're welcome back. It's off to Kano State, where the Kano State government has pledged support for traders affected by the devastating fire that broke out on Sallah Day at the Farm Centre GSM Market. Deputy Governor Aminu Gwarzo described the incident as a major setback to the state's economy, especially during the usually brisk Eid al-Kabir season. Now, the blaze ripped through the Dan Sulaika Plaza, one of the market's busiest sections, destroying shops and goods worth millions of naira. Gwarzo of Kano State has now pledged to support the traders as much as he possibly can. Now, the Deputy Governor, Aminu Gwarzo, described the incident, like I said earlier, as a major setback to the state's economy, especially during this usually brisk task time. Also, he said that the governor and the state government has assured the affected traders that they won't be left behind and that efforts will be made to help them rebuild their livelihoods. Our correspondent Emmanuel Bagudu is currently at the scene of the fire and now brings us update. Emmanuel, good afternoon to you. Can you tell us about the fire and so far what's the mood like at the market?
Yeah, of course, the authorities have actually, sealed off the place affected by the fire, and business as usual. Traders have resumed, artisans have resumed their work. Of course, with the assurance that the market will come back to its shape. So I think it's recovery time here at Farm Centre GSM Market here in Kano, Taurani local government area. So everybody has resumed, but now the place affected is being sealed for urgent attention for repair to begin in earnest there.
And as regards rebuilding and, just picking up the pieces, we know that the government has assured the traders. What is the details of this assurance to the traders who have lost their properties and their goods?
Well, of course, it's good millions of naira. Of course, for now, we cannot actually give the right figure, but quite a number of gadgets have been lost in this inferno. We're talking about gadgets as expensive as a single gadget that costs as expensive as 1 million naira, and that has been lost in multiples. So in terms of quantity, in terms of quantifying the amount, for now, I can't say, but I know that it's amounting to million. Now, I can probably say that probably over 50 million, close to 100 million, because we're talking about 47 shops, permanent shops, and of course, 20 temporary shops. So that happened when no one was around. The place is sealed while people are in celebration. So it's a huge loss, so to say, yeah.
Huge loss indeed. I was asking about the efforts of the government in rebuilding the market for the traders. What's the detail of that rebuild so far?
Yes. Of course, it's about, there are a lot of complaints of congestion. The details, the government have not really come out with a particular amount of money that they are going to provide, but we know that donations have been coming in from stakeholders, opportune stakeholders in the state. We know that I was told, I have not confirmed that a particular donation was, came in from the Emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi II, and of course, a lot of people came in and who are rich in the state must have come, and because the market has an association, they came and donated to the association, and of course, just to cool things down for now. So the marketers here, the traders here say they expect a lot of intervention since they have already really cried out to the government. For now, the government have not really made a particular amount, pronounced a particular amount which they are going to give to these traders. But they actually promised they are going to, bring the Farm Centre GSM Market back to the shape, and the youth will continue with their livelihoods. Yeah.
All right. Emmanuel, many thanks. We appreciate you for coming. Emmanuel Bagudu, there, correspondent live from the Farm Centre GSM Market in Kano, where fire and inferno went up, destroying about 47 shops, as well as appliances right there in Kano just on Eid Day, that's Sallah Day. Let's switch guys back to Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State, where we have Igbalani Omoniyi on standby to give us more update on the Ojude Oba Festival in Ijebu-Ode. Ojude Oba Festival, there we go. Igbalani, what's happening with you? What's the update?
The parade started about a few minutes ago, where different groups start paying homage to the Awujale. You can see them adorned in their various colors. The one right before me, I can't see their particular group, but of course that's how they come in their numbers. Different grades coming and parading throughout this way. Then they get to that side of the pavilion where we have the VIPs, and of course we have the governor who came in horse carriage. And I remember vividly when we were having an interview with the Olori Ogun from the Balogun Kuku family, he mentioned that his family introduced the carriage because naturally they're supposed to come in on a horse, not a horse carriage. But now the governor came in a horse carriage, and just right behind him was the viral icon of the 2024 Ojude Oba Festival, Farouk Oreagba. But I have with me here Otuba. Otuba is a major member, is a major member of the, what's the name of this group so I don't bother it? Awesome. Please, let's start with your name. What's your name, sir?
My name is Otumba Barrister Gboyega Okela, and I'm the Are Egbe of Bobaguta Shuaju Akile Ijebu.
What does the name of this Bobaguta, what does it mean?
These are people born between 1959 to 1961. And if you can recollect, the Kabiyesi came to throne of his forefathers in 1962. So we came during the time the Kabiyesi is becoming the king. Bobaguta, that is one at the time the Kabiyesi was enthroned as a king.
I want to believe most of the members of this group came from different areas, not just Ijebu, just to celebrate. How important is this attendance to the group?
The Ojude Oba Day is a festival, and it has become a carnival now. It has started over 20 years ago. People come from all walks of life, and a lot of people from the diaspora. That they have turned this into a major carnival. It is arguably the best traditional homecoming and coming to the palace to pay traditional rites to the Kabiyesi. All over Africa, this turned out to be the best. Millions of people are in Ijebu-Ode as we speak for the commemoration of Ojude Oba Festival 2025.
What are you waiting for to stand out in this festival for you? What will stand
We are people of flamboyant lifestyle, and you can see that exemplified in the dress code. You can see that in the elegant way our people make their costume. Ijebu-Ode and Ijebu people by at large are exceptionally fashionable people.
I can see that. Thank you very much, Otuba. Thank you very much, sir. Well, it is important to note. I was worried and I was maybe concerned because I saw that every single group has a Then one of them told me that they don't even know the colors. That is the KBSC and its council that choose and push out the color and choose a color, pardon me, for different groups. And once the color is chosen, they don't reveal it until when it's closed. All you do is pay for the clothes and you get it. And that's why you can see that no single color is the same as that of another group or that of another age grade. And it's just beautiful. It shows how much time, how much preparation, how much of a value they hold for this Ojude Oba Festival.
And really, we see the intentionality for the popularity to have, grown so much in the last few years with social media and the viral moment and the Mr. Steez himself. You can tell indeed that all of the hard work over the years have paid off, and that intentionality is what we're seeing with this festival. And Otumba is right to say that this is by far one of the most popular and most influential from the Southwest. Huge festival. Bringing everyone, far and wide from the diaspora, even within Nigeria, to come back and pay homage to His Royal Highness, as well as, celebrate their heritage and tradition. Igbalani, well done. We'll come back to you for more, but I appreciate you there. And also, enjoyment is written all over you, and I'm completely jealous. But Igbalani Deomoni, our guest, our correspondent live at the Ojude Oba Festival. I switch gears now to a bit of good news here. All the 484 Nigerian pilgrims affected by a fire incident at their hotel on Shari Muso Street in Makkah, the western part of Saudi Arabia, they are all safe and accounted for. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, gave the assurance in a statement signed by its spokesperson, Fatima Usara. The affected hotel, identified as Imaratus Sana, was accommodating pilgrims from 6 Nigerian private tour operator companies. According to the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, the incident occurred around 12 p.m. on Saturday with no casualties. The NACON spokesperson, Fatima Osara, said immediate emergency response by Saudi authorities and the hotel management helped to contain the fire swiftly and prevent it from spreading all over the building. Very good news there, and we are happy that all 484 of them are safe. Let's head off now to outside of Nigeria, where Rwanda has exited the Economic Community of Central African States, citing political bias and manipulation by the Democratic Republic of Congo. The announcement came Saturday, the same day as the ECAS summit in Malabo, where Rwanda was denied its turn to assume the bloc's rotating presidency. In a strongly worded statement, Kigali accused ECAS of being instrumentalized by DRC, calling the move a violation of the community's founding treaty. Rwanda was replaced by Equatorial Guinea, which will now serve as a second consecutive term. Now, tensions between Rwanda and DRC remain high, fueled by ongoing clashes in eastern Congo involving the M23 rebel group, which Kinshasa's claims is backed by Kigali. Chadian President Idris Itino has ordered the suspension of visas to U.S. citizens as reprisal for a travel ban. The Central African country was one of 12 nations affected by U.S. President Donald Trump's travel ban order. Now, Trump said the ban was in the interest of national security. Now, with 7 of the 12 countries on the list, Africa is the continent worst hit by Trump's travel ban. The affected countries include Afghanistan, Chad, Congo, Yemen, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Sudan, Myanmar, Somalia, Sudan, Libya, and Equatorial Guinea. The ban also imposed heightened restrictions on people from Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, as well as Venezuela. And off to South Africa, as thousands of Muslims in the country is celebrating the second significant Islamic holiday, Eid al-Adha. also known as the Feast of Sacrifice, the 10th day of the month of Duhajja, I beg your pardon. It is the second major religious celebrations of the year for Muslims following Eid al-Fitr at the end of Ramadan.
Today's date is our Eid al-Adha, which is very, very important for Islamic calendar, whereby we have to sacrifice the way Ibrahim alayhi salam did to when someone wanted to be slaughtered, and then we have to celebrate this day. That's why this day is very, very important for all Muslims around the world.
The significance of today is to bring unity amongst the Muslim community and even the other people that are surrounding us. We don't only look at the Muslim Ummah. Wherever there is a problem in the world, that we will be there. Like Ibn Sulaiman that does gift of the givers, does work. Now we have to instill in us love and passion for everybody.
We're going to celebrate it by cutting a sheep. After that, we distribute the meat to anyone who needs, and then we're going to eat it with our families.
Adha is about sacrificing, not just sacrificing and making qurbani to animals, but sacrificing, and the message was clear. Let us sacrifice our egos, let us sacrifice all our desires, and let us change our lives.
And you're welcome back. Tensions are high in Los Angeles after 2 straight days of clashes between protesters and federal agents over the arrest of dozens of migrants. Demonstrators poured into the streets, prompting federal agents to respond with flashbang grenades and tear gas in efforts to disperse the crowds. The crackdown has sparked outrage, especially in a city with a large Latino population. Community leaders are urging calm, while human rights groups are calling for accountability, transparency, and restraint in how migrant communities are treated.
I'm not going to throw it back. I'm going to keep it for a souvenir. Thank you, guys.
Former Argentine President Cristina Kirchner says that she's been politically targeted just days after announcing her intention to run for office in Buenos Aires province. Speaking at a rally in Corrientes, Kirchner claimed that all hell broke loose the moment her political comeback was made public. In 2022, she was sentenced to 6 years in prison and banned from holding public office over a corruption conviction. But she remains free as her appeal is still pending before the Supreme Court. Now, she suggests that her re-entry into politics may be pressuring the judiciary to speed up its ruling on her case.
Y se desataron los demonios y comenzaron a pedir desde todos lados que me metan presa. Eso es lo que uno lee. No hay que enojarse, no hay que enojarse, hay que estar atentos. Todo esto con editoriales que dicen, ay, no, está acabada, acorralada. Pero ¿y si estoy tan así? ¿Por qué no me dejan competir y entonces me derrotan políticamente? A ver, dale, dale, a ver. Mira cómo tiemblo.
U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, David Green Mills, has urged partners to focus on enhancing trade and investments for more economic benefits. He made this known while delivering a keynote address at a fireside chat involving stakeholders from different spheres, urging them to chart a new course for commercial diplomacy. News Central's business correspondent Juliet Rowland was at the event and filed this report. Take a look.
This strategic meeting held in Lagos was all about strengthening economic ties between the United States and Nigeria. The U.S. consulate brought together leaders from business, government, and academia, presenting a strategy aimed at exploring more trade opportunities.
The partnership between the United States, a global leader, and Nigeria, Africa's largest economy, stands on a beacon of strategic importance. This conversation transcends borders. It is about shaping a future where innovation, inclusivity, and investment create prosperity for all.
With Nigeria being the US's second largest trading partner in sub-Saharan Africa, it was time to support efforts that ensure power availability, innovation and adequate financing, as these will enhance productivity and access to America's robust markets.
The U.S. government had something called Power Africa, which was an effort to bring together all the various U.S. government offices and agencies that work in the power sector and private sector to address not just Nigeria's energy and electricity challenges, but the whole continent's challenges. And it identified some opportunities. And I will say what we were told and what we're trying to encourage is U.S. businesses to come here who I think can help through the development of off-grid small electrical power systems.
This plan for the US's partnership with Nigeria is not without its challenges. However, it is believed that implementing the right reforms can help address issues of corruption, port congestion, money laundering, poor investor confidence, amongst others.
He's talking about increasing investment and not aid. So it's more trade and less aid, which is exactly what the Africans have been asking for decades. He said a lot of things have got to change or can improve in Nigeria to allow this, this trade flow between both nations to increase. He's talking about excessive taxation in Nigeria. He specifically mentioned the wheelbarrow tax, that corporations have been made to pay wheelbarrow tax. That's absurd, For a company that wants to come to a developing world to take advantage of lower costs, then adding taxes on them, of course, negates the benefit they get when they move here.
Together, let's rewrite the next chapter of the U.S.-Nigeria excellence.
As these events marks a strategic moment in U.S.-Nigeria relations, it reaffirms both nations' resolve to turn commercial diplomacy into real development and mutual economic growth. In Lagos for News Central, I am Juliet Roland.
For handling that session.
Rivers Hoopers fell short against U.S. Monistar, losing 89-81 in their opening bow playoff game. The Hoopers looked strong early on, leading most of the first half, but Monistar's bench stepped up big in the second, turning the tide. Babaka San led all Monistar scorers with 22 points off the bench. Andrew Edogi and Joachim Haddad also delivered clutch plays, combining for 39 points. Now, despite a game-high 28 points from Ralph Putney, the Hoopers couldn't hold on. Now, U.S. Monistar now moves on to face Petro di Luanda, where Rivers Hoopers will take on APR in the quarterfinals. Now, both teams still have everything to play for in the road to the BAL Championship. And off to athletics, where Nigeria's Tobi Amusan was back on the track at the Racers Grand Prix in Jamaica, this time competing in the women's 100 meters flat. Known for her hurdles, Amusan showed her speed with a second-best time of 11.18 seconds, finishing fourth. The race featured top sprint talent Jamaica's Tina Clayton, who took the win in 10.98 seconds, while American Jasius Sars came second with 11.04 seconds. It was a solid outing for Amusan as she continues to fine-tune her form in the sprint events. Saturday's actions at the COSAFA Cup, brought key winners for South Africa and Madagascar, as far as South Africa beat Zimbabwe 2-0, their first win over the rivals in the tournament's history. Kabelo Lumini, he scored from the spot, and Ime Okon sealed it with a late header. In Group B, Mozambique and Mauritius played to a goalless draw as Mauritius held firm despite Mozambique's 13 attempts on goal. But they will miss Jean-Pascal Collin in the next match after his red card. Madagascar also grabbed a 1-0 win over Tanzania in Group C thanks to Toki Rako Todrabi, first half strike. Now, Sunday's features include Angola versus Lesotho, Namibia versus Malawi, with all teams still fighting for a spot in the semi-finals. And that's all we can take on the sports day. Well, congratulations to them. All we can take on this hour. But before we go, let's take another look at some of the major stories. The federal government declares Thursday, 12th June 2025, a public holiday for Democracy Day. And colors and tradition is in full display in Ijebu-Ode as Ojude Oba Festival continues, or rather begins. And off to Rwanda, as the country has now quit the Economic Community of Central Africa States amid tensions with DRC. Do remember they can send us your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number now showing on the screen. And while you're at it, make sure to follow us on social media. We're at News Central TV on all social media platforms. You can always watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422 or also on GoTV channel 23. If you have Star Times, find us on channel 274. If you have a smart television, download the app Avo TV and watch us live on there. You can also stream us live on YouTube 24/7. You can always go on YouTube as well, because coming up next after these is the live coverage of the Ojude Oba Festival, and we're streaming live on YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I am Judith at TV. Bye for now.